Hi, and welcome to our podcast, Good Deeds Real Estate with a Mission. I'm Diane Davidson here with Bill Weidecker. We're of the Fine Homes Group at Keller Williams and here for our little weekly chat. It's so, I know people are listening, not necessarily watching. If you're watching, you can see that we both have wire earphones, and brings me back to the day when my grandfather used to walk around with a transistor radio in his pocket. This is back in the 60s, 1960s. And people would go up to him and yell at him because they didn't realize that he wasn't wearing, because this is what hearing aids used to look like. Remember that, Bill, or are you too young?
Yeah, I remember, but I am too young. I mean, I read about it. I remember reading about it.
Yep. When you were in your 20s. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
it.
anyway.
Okay. Anyway, so here we are. Interesting market. It seems to be all the buzz, right? People want to know what's happening, all sorts of theories. We did have the mortgage rates go up 0.25%. That's been a week and a half now, or almost 2 weeks. Yep. I don't see that it's really slowed things down around here. Do you see that it has?
Not at all. And for everybody that's watching or listening out there, pay zero attention to what you hear about the real estate market nationally. It has nothing to do with Massachusetts or New Hampshire. Zero. As close to zero as you can get.
Maybe a little more in downtown Boston, but not in the suburbs, and certainly nowhere in New Hampshire. So it's the headlines are always that. There's often sensationalize the news, and you read the article, and sometimes it correlates with headlines, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, even if it does, we are the anomaly. That was easy, not easy anomaly. We are. New Hampshire is the real estate unicorn right now. There may be another one around the country. I don't know, because we're not in that market. I'm going to actually be on a podcast in Chicago. A friend of ours in Chicago is comparing a bunch of different markets around the country. So that'll be interesting to hear what everybody has to say. We know some markets because we're involved in training with a company in Phoenix, and it's wildly different than here. So I think we crested above the 900 single family home mark. Again, we're back up out of the low 8s, almost hitting the 700s for single family homes available in the whole state of New Hampshire. When I tell people that who aren't living here, even people in New Hampshire, it blows them away. And sometimes I speak to homeowners, people will say to me, is anything even selling now? And people in New Hampshire, people locally asking me that, and it blows my mind. So, God, whatever you think, please talk to us, because it may be accurate, but it's likely not.
Here's what the average property owner has no real understanding of what the market's really like. So not only that, Diane, they have no idea what their equity position is in their property either. Some do, but when push comes to shove, they have no idea what the last 4 years has done to the value of their home, because it really wasn't germane to their thinking. Now, because the headlines are out there so much, they're thinking, I don't even know if the house is worth what I paid for it 4 years ago.
Crazy. Well, it isn't worth what I paid for it 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's worth way
lot more.
Yeah.
It's the thing is, we get that. We bought almost 4 years ago. Result of a door knocking, I might say. But we get those automated, the things in the mail. And of course I open it, even though I'm in the business, but we never know exactly what's something. So I opened it, and we were up to much higher than I thought. And that's without even taking into consideration the work that we've done. So I was really pleased to see that, to maybe know our equity position. But and I know I don't want to, I'm not trying to dumb this down, but just so people understand, your equity position is the value of your home less the mortgage that exists on it. Sure. And a lot of people don't know how much their mortgage is right now either, right? So they, took it out 4 years ago. They really don't look at it. They just they might even come out automatically. Here they can do that now. We still like to write a check, I know, and put a stamp on it. But so it's an important thing to know. I mean, it's your asset. It's a big asset. For a lot of people, it's their most valuable asset. And the asset part of it, what's just close to negotiable for them is the equity they have. So that's an important thing to know.
Well, and the other part of this inventory, their demand is still very, very, very good, and inventory is low. So if you've got a low supply and a high demand, that just keeps prices very, very solid. And to give you an understanding, not you Diane, you know.
Not me. I got it. Yeah.
But those listening, a real understanding what inventory looks like. There's 20 houses on the market, single family homes in the city of Manchester right now, 20 houses on the market. There's 110,000 people that live in the city. You want to look at homes, you were coming into Manchester and you said, I want to see from the least expensive to the most expensive. We could probably do that, set them all up and be done in a day.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more, but and Bedford, so a bedroom community in Manchester, there's 10 houses, 10. And last year we were like, there's only 30 houses on the market in Bedford. Now there's a third of that.
Can I jump in there for a second? I happened to look at them the other day. I think 6 of them. There were 12 the other day. There are 10 now. 6 of those, so 60% are houses that are not even where the construction hasn't started yet, or it's just barely underway. So what we call paper listing. So there really aren't more than 4 houses that are ready for somebody to buy and move into. Right. So we've had kind of that stock has been sitting for a while in Bedford. Those are the houses that don't exist or maybe starting to exist. And I mean the numbers are way down everywhere. But a couple interesting things anecdotally. Lenders we're speaking to are definitely busier, not with refinances, that's for sure. But they're definitely busier. So that tells us that people are putting things under contract. And we know that there are, and just on our own team, we have been able to help buyers and sellers, matching them up with each other for opportunities before the houses hit the market. So we have been, our clients have been fortunate enough to have their needs met without a property always coming on the market. So that's another phenomenon that's happening in this market. And I'm sorry if there's any background noise, but I'm in the office doing it on Zoom.
It's kind of like the newsroom at
yes,
one of the networks.
Just what I was thinking. Yeah,
things are going on. Things are happening.
Well, going on happening. The market is very active. Open houses are extremely busy. There are some open houses where we have over 100 parties come through. We're still receiving multiple offers on just about every property. It really has to be poorly positioned to receive no offers, and fairly when I mean being fair, I mean not just a cut above poorly to receive just 1 or 2. It's a very, very, very busy market and very, very high demand. Properties are in high demand. So what does that say? What advice can we give buyers and what advice can we give sellers? Let's put a bow on it.
Well, the bow I would put on it is this. We know from a mortgage perspective, rates are going to, I believe rates are going to settle out. They're around 6.5 now. They're going to settle out somewhere between where they are now and 5.5%. And so that should not cause somebody to wait, because I don't know when those rates are going to be there. We may see the Fed raise rates again in May. So my feeling is let's get the house that you're looking for, and when rates come down, refinance. Or just refinance. So many people did that over the last 10, 12 years. Every time rates came down, refinance boom, kicked in, and that was a direct result of the lowering of the rates. Refinancers are down 87% right now, and mortgage applications nationwide are down 30%. So that gives you a little bit of a sense of where things are at nationally and locally. And I love the fact that we live here, and it's popular and the demand is still there. So if you're a property owner, there's never been a better opportunity. And when do you want to sell? In a buyer's market or a seller's market? We're in a seller's market with buyer-friendly tendencies, meaning it's a little more civil out there. If you're the seller and you're going to move this year, talk to us now. Talk to us now, because we can time it for you depending on your move. Even if you're going to move next year, talk to us now.
Yeah, I will tell you that 2 of those off-market transactions we put together, the sellers really needed to sell to buy. We were able to find buyers for them that could accommodate them. And so everybody's happy. All the dominoes are happy. Anyway, I think that puts enough of a bow on it. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. as always, lovely chatting with you. Looking forward to next week. So thank you to all of you out there for following us on your favorite podcast platform or subscribing to our YouTube channel. We'll talk next week.